Welcome everybody back to the camp out. It's Father's Day.
Yes, it is.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, thank you.
You don't deserve it, but
Happy
happy
soon to
Father's
be
Day.
father.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you still got one bacon in the oven.
Yep. What? So we figured this week it would be focused on fatherhood, dads,
Yeah, that's fine with me.
dadhood. I don't know.
Yeah, and
So
the overwhelming single mom dads, I guess,
yeah,
according to Facebook.
that's really funny.
It
I
it,
see a
it
lot of
is
them
funny.
every year.
Yeah,
Happy Father's Day to my mother that stepped it. Yeah, she's a good mom. She still ain't a dad.
yeah.
Like,
Well, because you see that stuff on Mother's Day, like somebody will try to give props to a guy, and they're all like, "They can't ever replace a mother." Like, oh, okay, pick one, ladies. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
You can have either one. It don't matter to me, but just pick one. Quit trying to double up on presents.
yeah.
I would pick probably a more popular holiday, considering that Arbor Day is ahead of Father's Day,
Yeah,
on celebration. So,
I think that's still crazy.
yeah.
I'm like, great. I'm looking forward to a lot here.
Now we can talk about maybe the greatest father of all time.
Father Time?
No, no. His name is I'm gonna butcher it, but it's Gary Peloche or something like that from Louisiana. So put whatever draw on that.
Hello, Shay.
Yeah. So on March 16th, 1984, the good old days, back whenever you could do fun things. his his 11 so he has an 11-year-old son at the time, right?
Okay.
And he's taking karate lessons. And the karate instructor kidnaps the boy and repeatedly essays him,
Mm.
you know. Um, and then, I don't know, lets the kid go or the kid gets away, something like that. And then he flees to California. Well, the police get an extradition thing. They catch him in California. They bring him back to Louisiana. Somebody from the local news organization told the dad that they caught him and he's coming back in. He's going to be on this flight. So they're marching him through the airport. Cameras are rolling. It's big news, in that area because, you know, karate instructor, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And they go walking by the phone booth bank, which there's banks of these phone booths, because there was no cell phones in '84, so you just would go up to all this row of payphones
Yeah.
and call one up. Anyway, this guy turns around. He's wearing a hat and sunglasses, big old aviators, and unalives the dude
Mm.
on live TV,
Mm-hmm.
and just bam, gets him. Right. So that guy's gone now, and now he's in trouble.
Yeah.
The father is, and he pleads no contest to manslaughter charges. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they suspend his sentence, give him 5 years probation and 300 hours of community service. That is the last time I know that the system worked.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, with that in mind, God forbid something like that ever happen.
Yeah.
What would be your mindset?
I
You think you could go that far?
think I'd probably go further.
Well, there ain't much further than
Well, there's further. I'd probably wait till the guy got home. Okay. Be like, John Wick sitting in the recliner, in the dark. Click on
yeah.
the light. What's up? Right? Tie yourself to the chair.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know what I can say on the internet, but do a lot of bad things to him and then unalive him. But it wouldn't be as simple as because he got the easy way out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we did a bad thing. Oh, I'm dead now. Like he got the easiest way. He didn't have to feel any pain.
Hmm.
I feel like he should feel the amount of pain that he brought that family and that kid and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I think you should get your just desserts.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, every dad wants to like feel that way, you know. Um, I mean, let's say hypothetically something like that ever happened to you, right? And I go and I kill the guy. Are you gonna be okay with me being in prison the rest of my life? Like, which one would you rather have?
What's the other option? You doing nothing?
Yeah, well, the all everything that I can legally,
Yeah.
like we get him caught, we get him in jail, he's serving his time, make sure that he stays in there.
Yeah.
You know, I go through the whole thing of making sure that he goes to
Mm.
jail and being supportive and all that stuff. Or do you think you would feel better if I just unalived him and went to prison?
Well, I mean, I would wanna say that, like, I'd feel, like, proud. Like, "Yeah, my dad went and got revenge for this family," you know?
Hmm.
But at the same time, I would've been growing up without my dad, so
Right.
I probably would've rathered you not, realistically. If I was already an adult, like, at my age, and I knew that that's the whole story, I'd probably be okay with it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, all I know is something bad has happened. Now dad is gone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think any of it through 'cause I'm a kid, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the blissfulness of being a kid is that you can kind of take all that stuff for granted, like,
Yeah,
stuff that, parents do, and, you don't really see it until you get older.
yeah,
So you'll go through that too. You go like, but I've been doing,
yeah,
yeah, it's like never enough, which that's the way it should be.
yeah.
Your kids will push you to keep trying to do more and more and more, and that's not a bad thing.
Mhm.
So, I feel like that if I didn't do that action, then I wouldn't have done everything that I could have done or should have done.
Yeah,
You
would have
know,
felt like you still lost.
yeah, it'd be a turmoil. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Well, to kinda brighten up the mood, um,
What are you talking about? We should celebrate this guy. We should have a parade.
well, I've got, since it's Father's Day, I've got some questions for you.
Ooh,
Um, it's about being a I just used Google, I didn't think this through. But about being a dad
yeah.
for Father's Day. So, um, what's your favorite thing about being a dad?
Mm, like, I don't know. I mean, like the pride that I get out of watching you guys grow up. I mean, I'd say that's probably my favorite thing. You know,
Pride of seeing me walk into your house as a fully grown adult wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt?
well, that one hurt a little. I ain't gonna lie, and the matching Crocs didn't help.
Yeah.
But like just I don't know, like watching you guys go out in the world and do new things, try things that I didn't try.
Yeah.
You know, um, yeah, and I don't know, just trying to still be a part of your guys' life as you go into adulthood.
Yeah.
Because it was easier whenever you guys were younger because I was faster than you. Like
Yeah.
I come over, we had that whole dynamic, but now it's like, yeah, like I don't know, it's like like my dad had kind of all three things, right? Like, um, he had Caleb that stayed with him on the farm and all that, worked with him all the time.
Yeah.
I was kind of in the middle,
Mhm.
I was around, but I was working, so like I was kind of back and forth, So he seen me some, and he didn't see me some, and your uncle Jeremy, he moved off to do his life, like he moved down to Mississippi and
Mhm.
and did that for a while, so he didn't see that a lot. So he kind of went through all three, and um, but yeah, that's my thing I'm most proud about.
Okay. Um, I mean, this kinda goes for me, I guess. What advice do you have for first-time dads?
Um, you have to learn to like put off your stuff.
Mhm.
Like, this is gonna sound really bad, but like your ambitions and your dreams and stuff like that, all that is on hold now.
Yeah.
You can still do it, like you can still kind of try to keep a little normalcy, but for the most part, you know, like, I mean, you're 20, like, and like, in any time I've ever had you, like growing up, like,
Mhm.
like you like to, like, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna play Fortnite, I'm gonna veg out, right? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that. You got a kid in the house, that don't happen.
Yeah.
They always have questions, they always want to do something, they're always bored, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's just kind of what it is. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, just being prepared to give up a lot of your stuff, which is worth it completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to.
Um, what's the funniest story you have about being a dad?
I mean, like my favorite story that like has to do with you is whenever you threw my cell phone out the truck.
Yeah.
Like that was I don't know. That was always that's still kind of the dynamic of our relationship.
You think so?
Yeah, like yeah, you like to push a little,
Yeah.
you know. Uh, in that particular one, you just push it a little too far out the window. But yeah, so we were on the old highway going to Carthage. You had my phone, and I was in the old Ford Ranger, the '78,
Yeah.
and you're like, you got my phone, you're like holding up to the window, and you got this big old grin on you, and I was like, "Don't you do it!" And then you just like looking at me, just whoop right out the window. And I slam on the brakes, and I get out, point at you, and I go, "When I get back, I'm beating your ass." And
Yeah.
and then I walk and I go get my phone, and I found it. I mean, back then we had bricks,
Yeah.
you know. So picked it up, got in the truck, and please don't beat my ass. Like we're good. Just don't do that again.
Yeah.
So
Um, what is, I mean, I guess these are just interesting questions now. I got a few topics just picking through. What's your favorite movie or book?
mm, favorite book, only because it was like the first book I really remember reading was Call of the Wild. Like, like it was Jack London, I think, is who wrote that one.
Okay.
That was like back in grade school. Um, as an adult, my favorite one, and like these are not like, oh, he's such a reader, like it
Uh,
ain't nothing like that. But the Da Vinci Code books
yeah,
were really good.
really.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I really enjoyed those.
I actually just ordered a new book that I've been wanting to read for quite a while. I finally got it on the way.
Yeah, you know, I love how everybody like. So if you ever really think about it, everybody reads at like the seventh grade level.
Okay.
Pretty much everybody does, because by the seventh grade, you've learned to read like properly.
Yeah.
Um, you still read books daily. I do not.
Yeah.
Every so often I've read a book,
Yeah.
but most people don't read a book at all.
Yeah. I don't
So,
read books daily, but I do read them fairly often.
right, like you don't do them daily, but you read them more than the average person, I would say.
So at least weekly.
Yeah. Um, whereas, like, I mean, I read the Da Vinci Code books. I don't know. I want to say you were 5.
Yeah.
You know, it was whenever I
So
was.
about 16 years ago.
Yeah, it was back whenever I was working at Judy's at the convenience store.
Yeah.
And it'd be a long time before people came in, and I was on 12-hour shift. So I would just read the book, and then people
Mm.
would come in, I put it down, da, da, da. Um, but yeah, I mean, like it's something that nobody ever really practices. Once you learn it, you don't practice it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's all like, well, no, I have a 12th grade reading level. No, you don't. Like you stop learning in the seventh grade.
Mhm.
Anyway, that was my little rant on that
I think I need reading glasses.
already.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know, whenever I'm reading a book, if it's like a lot of words on one page, I'm like over there squinting
Mm.
and like straining my eyes. Like I'll generally just put the book down and not read it anymore. Um,
At the dollar store.
see, I did order a cheap pair,
Yeah.
but they're not very good.
Yeah, they're just magnifying glasses, really.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Um, what's something you always wanted to do as a kid but didn't get to?
Disneyland.
Go to Disneyland?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm. I was
yeah,
not expecting. That was like the last thing I was expecting.
yeah. Disneyland or Universal. Like, I was kinda tore in between the 2,
Yeah.
you know? Kinda think Universal would be more fun because it wouldn't be so crowded.
Oh, I'm sure it's just as.
I don't know, like, every, like, Starbucks, like, basic white family with, 2.5 kids,
Yeah.
they're going to Disneyland, you know? And which is completely fine because I wanna go too.
Yeah.
I really wanna go to the Star Wars thing.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
why.
cool. Build a droid and build a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would love to do that. I doubt I ever do, but, yeah, that
It would be
was
cool though.
something I always wanted to do and as a kid, but my parents couldn't afford that, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we just weren't there for that.
Hmm. Okay. Um, what world events have had the most impact on you?
Um, so, I think I learned that the world was shit, um, whenever the bombing, Tulsa. There was a federal building that got bombed, and some guy just, I don't know what he used, like I don't know if it was soybeans or he used some kind of farm shit to
Oh.
build a bomb, put it in the back of a truck, of a U-Haul truck,
Uh-huh.
and then parked it, and then blew it up. And it damaged the building. There's things that this is before 9/11. Like,
Mm.
9/11 kind of cemented that in for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, whenever I seen that, that was probably that. And I didn't really understand it at the time, but whenever the Berlin Wall came down,
Yeah.
um, I didn't understand the impact of it. People were able to actually, you know, move freely. Kind of get some freedom going.
Yeah.
So those are the two that stick out in my head from my earliest time. That everything else since then, I'm like, makes sense.
Okay. Do you remember the best Christmas present you ever received?
Ooh. Um, had to change your diaper on Christmas. That was I don't know. That was
So
my
I was only a few weeks old, so yeah.
yeah. I mean, not to sound corny, but I mean, yeah, that was probably like the best thing. As a kid, it was. I still remember that Nintendo coming out of that box.
Mhm.
Like I can still smell it.
Like the NES, original
Yeah,
Nintendo?
yeah, the one that's on the wall. Yeah, I
Those
get.
boxes alone go worth money now.
Yeah, yeah. I went into that toy store in Eureka Springs and
Yeah.
saw all my old stuff.
Yeah.
You're so fucking rich. Um, but yeah, I still remember how that thing smelled coming out of the box. I can't describe it, but
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like bliss and joy, you know, but it just, I don't
Rainbows
know.
and unicorns.
Yeah. And just the feel of the button, pushing it, seeing that little red light come on.
Mhm.
Oh. So yeah, the sound of the cartridge sliding in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably my best like childhood Christmas present. Uh, Me being a father for the first time was like overall my best present. So
Mhm. It's pretty wide range. Like, oh, becoming a dad or a Nintendo. That was cool.
yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, after got done being a kid, I mean, like how many like since you're not, since you've become a young man
Uh,
and an adult, how many times have you been blown away with your Christmas present?
my most recent one, the Emma gave me a PS5.
Well, okay.
That was pretty,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and then I also got a gun this past Christmas. Last Christmas was the shit. That was a good
Yeah.
Christmas. But before that, I can't remember very many, if anything. Um, I also got an Xbox last Christmas. I got a lot of shit. I don't remember.
Maybe I'm just not as good through the year as you are. That could be it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I don't really remember a whole lot of them.
Yeah, I mean,
Christmas presents are a pretty forgettable thing for me.
well, I mean, when you're a kid, like there's a few that'll stand out, but
Yeah.
but as you get older, it's just you know, like you look at more of the thought of it,
Uh,
like Emma buying you that PlayStation 5. It wasn't because of the PlayStation 5.
I suppose that's
Right, but I mean, it's
it's the kindness and whatnot.
yeah, like I mean, that's a lot of thought and sacrifice. I mean, that's a big money drop for her
Yeah.
that she could have spent on herself if she chose to, but she didn't. She picked you. So that's how I look at all the presents now. Like, my Father's Day gifts and stuff. Um,
Like today, you're gonna go get some steak.
yeah, gonna go get some steak.
What?
Yeah. I mean, still gotta buy my own alcohol, but
Nah.
yeah, we're actually doing this podcast like super early because I don't need to do it drunk.
Yeah, I had to cancel playing video games with Ian.
Thank you,
He
Ian,
was
for your
heart.
sacrifice.
He was so heartbroken. Um, my favorite Christmas present was definitely my original Xbox 360 that we got when we were little kids.
Yeah.
Because that thing, we burnt the shit out of that Xbox.
Yeah.
It was worth a lot to us.
Yeah. Yeah. That first system is always
Yeah.
because like the Atari, like I was too young to understand what the Atari was and didn't ever really play it.
Yeah.
Played a little, but I mean, there's only so many times you can play Pong,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that Nintendo, man, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the day my dad lost his kids for a couple of years.
If you had one that worked, would you actually play it?
Honestly, probably not.
You don't think so?
No, because I mean, I have such a little time for video games,
Yeah.
even with you guys being older. I mean, I got to play a little bit today,
Yeah.
but that's rare. I mean, I haven't played a video game on that thing outside of like you and me playing for this or but I don't know, like I don't know, God of War,
Yeah.
like the second Ragnarok one.
Yeah.
That was the last one I actually like hardcore hit. So
Yeah. Okay. Um, as a child, what were you most afraid of?
snakes.
Spikes. Yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, me too. I think I get my fear of snakes from you. I feel like they wouldn't have scared me if they didn't scare you.
Yeah, and I don't know where I got my fear of snakes.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, there. It had to be on that like when we were fixing the water gap and that snake was hanging off my boot, like
Mm-hmm.
because it had bit into my rubber boots and couldn't get off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think that was whenever I got scared of snakes. That and the show Lonesome Dove.
Never heard of it.
This old cowboy western thing, and it's like a 6-part series.
Okay.
And for some odd reason, this guy's like crossing the river on his horse,
Mm.
and I don't know if this is even a thing, but floating down the river was a mating ball of moccasins.
Ugh.
Yeah, and him and the horse went right into the middle of it. And so the horse died and he died because he got bit like, I don't know how many, they were like trying to count him up and he's like, oh, he's dead,
Yeah.
and then he died right there. So between the snake that I encountered and then that show, I think those two things made me scared of snakes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think your fear, like, I feel like we started a generational fear with that.
Yeah.
Like, you you getting scared from those two things because
I
I'm
try.
probably going to carry it to my daughter.
I tried to act tough around snakes whenever you were younger.
Yeah.
Whenever they're like, at that birthday party and they're like, "Oh, there's a snake, kill it," and I'm like the most non-manly swing of a shovel. Like I'm gripping the very end of it. It's off balance. I'm just like, "Nah." And I eventually do kill it, and then I scoop it up on the shovel, and I'm taking it to the ditch to get rid of it, feeling like a man
Yeah.
until
Fresh kill.
until the weight of it slid off the shovel. I immediately thought it was still alive.
Yeah.
If a shovel goes up in the air, I take off running. Going, okay, it's not chasing me. It's still laying there. Must still be dead. So I go pick it back up. So
That's funny. Um, what's your idea of a perfect day?
mm, one I may not. I don't. It's going to be hard to ever get. I think camping when it's not hot, but it's not cold.
Okay.
Right. Um. Wake up, not sleeping on rocks.
Mhm.
That's the key to the start of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't want to go to a lake. I'd rather be on a river, and
Okay.
a river or a creek, and just fish, go eat lunch, fish some more, you
Mhm.
know, um, eat some of the fish that we catch,
Mhm.
you know, stuff like that. So I
Feel
think
like
that,
we have pretty similar.
yeah, I think that would be like the most relaxing thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be, I think that would be a good day.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've already lived your perfect day?
No, no, because if I think I've already lived the perfect day, then what else am I pursuing?
Mm.
You know,
I
eh,
feel like I've lived my like ideal perfect day. So I was just wondering if you
yeah.
felt that way.
I don't. Some people can have that and then like still move on. You know,
Mhm.
um, me, I gotta think of like, okay, I can do better. I can do better. I can do better. So that way I
Mhm.
keep going forward. If not, I'm like, oh, okay, I've done everything I need to.
Yeah. I could
Um,
probably change my perfect day a little bit to make it a little better,
mm.
but
Tell me
uh,
about your perfect day.
so in my head, my perfect day was um, whenever I went camping with James, Austin, and Bryson, and James's camper, and it was in the morning. It was still like you said, not too hot, not too cold. I could sit out in my lawn chair, watch the sun come up while I was reading like one of the best books I've ever read. Sitting there with no music playing, no one talking to me, doing my own thing, just sitting there, just watching the. It was when we were on the lake,
Mm,
and just sitting there reading my book. Sunrise coming up. That was pretty awesome.
no,
I feel like the only way I could make that better is if I was on like a little boat out on the lake reading
yeah.
that book. Like that'd be the only way I could make it better.
I think the only way I can make mine better is change the location, basically, and like secluded beach,
Yeah.
tiki hut. No, no camping, just a hut, and just go out, sit on the porch in the morning, drink my coffee, watch the water come in, you know,
Yeah.
maybe go out on a boat and go fish.
Who knows?
Yeah, that would be some good. Like, I might stop eating steak and just eat fish at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like seafood fish is like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's a whole new breed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like bass and catfish and all that, but it's just not quite the same.
Yeah.
It tastes a little muddy, a little creaky. Um,
Okay. That's all I'm gonna give you for questions.
Oh,
We don't want to talk about you the whole time.
well, let's go one more. What? And I know we ain't talked about this, and
I'm nervous.
yeah,
What are you doing?
what do you think my worst mistake as a father is?
Worst mistake?
Yeah, like what's my quality or is something that
Okay.
I've done?
Um,
Because
I think
I don't
it's
mind these.
I think it's value of time.
Okay.
I feel like I know what you had to do versus what you wanted to do,
Hmm.
like with work and money and whatnot. But yeah, I would say the value of your time was skewed. You know, like I, at least from my perspective, growing up with you as my dad, you wanted to make as much money as possible as long as possible.
Hmm.
Like work as late as you can every day, make as much money as you can every day,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you didn't have the correct value on your time. Like feel like you could have spent, more time at home or more time with your friends or,
Hmm.
made some of those friendships, relationships last longer, you know. That's yeah, that'd probably all I'd say would be your value of time was skewed by the constant need to make more money and provide.
Yeah. Well, what what do you think's more of the proper? What would have been proper for me to do? And I'm not saying in an argumentative way.
Uh-huh.
Like it's just a question. Like I'm
What'd
just
you
trying to
expect
learn.
me to do?
Yeah, it's not like that.
Okay. Well, I think you should have done um I don't know, I feel like instead of trying to go for as much money as possible, I feel like you should have gone for just above what you absolutely needed. Like, make sure all the bills are paid and a little bit saved back.
Yeah.
You don't need to have like build up the savings account constantly all the time.
Mm.
I feel like if you would have done it slower and more gradual, I feel like you would have been a little bit happier.
Well, just a little insight.
Okay.
Um,
I understand that at times you were not able to do that. You had to work as much as you could to
yeah.
pay for everything.
Um, I don't think you guys realize like how many times I've had to clear out my savings.
Mhm.
Um, because you guys needed something or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, anytime I got anything built up, it was bam, bam, bam. So as a dad, it makes you feel like you can't ever work enough.
Yeah.
You never have enough money because I I think on my mistake there should have been a whole lot more no's.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and then I wouldn't had to have done that,
Mhm.
but I tried to appease. And yeah, I'm not making an excuse because I mean, when it boils down to it, it was my decision to work that much. I do kind of regret it,
Yeah.
as I'm getting older. I'll be 44 next weekend.
Mhm.
So as I've gotten older, I do regret it because you'll find yourself going, well, we'll do that next year,
Yeah. I'm
and
still waiting on a few fishing trips and
yeah,
vacations and yeah.
yep, and that's the sucky part of it is you keep on waiting. If you don't say the word no,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a harder time than me
Think so?
because you got a girl. Like, dude, I could be I I could be rough on you guys,
Yeah.
you know, like I mean, I wasn't terribly rough, but like you guys got no more often than if like you guys were a daughter, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So, but that's what you think's my biggest drawback, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be the only thing that I can think of. I mean, other than that, you were pretty damn good. So,
What do you fear is going to be yours?
Mhm. Like my biggest mistake as a dad,
Yeah, like looking ahead, what do you think you might do, or that you're trying to make sure that you don't do?
um, feel like I might helicopter.
Yeah.
Feel like I might be like a helicopter parent, and I really don't want to be. Like I want my kids to feel like they have as much freedom as I did when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So I don't want to be a helicopter parent, but I feel like I'm going to care so much that I can't help it.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. I mean, you don't want a helicopter, of course, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanna be attentive and all that good stuff, but, I mean, everybody has scars from as a kid,
Hmm.
you know. Sometimes you gotta let them handle their own bullies,
Yeah.
their own fights, their own problems, you know. I mean, you try to help and whatnot, you know, but eventually, like I tell you, okay, well, figure it out, you
Hmm.
know, and like so, and sometimes you guys like just you're like, no, I'm not gonna figure that out. The last thing that you're like, nah, I'm not gonna figure out, the dishwasher because the handle's broke.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't get in it. I'm saying like, son, oh, come on,
Yeah.
I if I can get into it,
Yeah.
no, you can. I didn't know how to get into it when it broke either. So, um, but yeah, like you gotta let them hit their own struggles and stuff. I will try to nicely stop you if you start being a helicopter dad. So,
Okay. I'll probably get. I'll probably like bitch back like a dog or something. Like, no, I can do it out of wire. You
oh,
know.
I know you're gonna hate me and think that I'm trying to control your life, and
Yeah.
yeah, I already see that coming. That's fine. Me and my dad got into it that way. Well, you need to do this with him,
Yeah.
and well, I'm not you, Dad. It's not a phase. So,
No face. I'm born this way. Come on.
yeah. So, but yeah, you'll bite back at me, which is fine. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
So I'll be mad in the instant though. Yeah, but we'll get over it. We'll get past it,
Yeah.
and then we'll talk about it on here, and everybody will laugh at us.
It's really weird watching you get old.
Watching me get old?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
try it on this side.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, I realized how long ago like being a kid was for me,
Yeah.
and I was like, fuck, like almost three. I almost graduated high school almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was like 2.5 years, but still, 2.5 years ago, I finished high school,
Yeah.
and I feel like I stopped being a kid at like 16. I mean, I still was a dumbass, but
But
I
yeah.
stopped doing like kid shit at like 16.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird. Like I've been as close to an adult as I'm gonna get for the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
Really weird. I don't like it
I was not. So, like, you're a part of my life right now. Um,
for now.
for now. Y'all y'all know my current son. Um, but like whenever I was your age and my dad was my age,
Hmm.
um, I wasn't a part of his life at this point.
Yeah.
I was, you know, working, and by 21 I was gone. I don't like driving cross country.
Yeah.
And I'd come back and I would see him, but not really a part of his life.
Yeah.
But that's whenever he like took up like country dancing.
Okay.
Yeah, he like went to like a singles group and started learning how to two step and waltz and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then, God Almighty, did he ever get into it?
Yeah. He got pretty good too.
Yeah, I was taking him when he was like mostly blind.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't really tell who he was dancing with. You know,
But he knew how to.
he used that too. He's all like, "Well, I've lost most of my vision, so I gotta go by touch." I'm all like, "Dad, like I'm right." Like he was the original Riz. So
He was the Rizzler.
yeah, um,
That's funny.
yeah. No, it's weird watching your parents get old. It's weird being a parent and getting old.
Yeah.
You know, it's really frustrating whenever you guys ask me questions and then I like, well, yeah, no, you do this. Like, nah, nah.
It's kind of weird to think that you were in basically my same shoes 20 years ago,
Hmm.
and now I'm in those shoes. It's weird.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
swap shoes.
I had a couple more years of freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 23, I think, when you were born.
Yeah.
Um, you'll be 21, but
No, we'll be 20 still.
oh yeah, I guess you will be.
Beat teen pregnancy by 1 year.
Barely.
Barely.
Yeah, luckily. Yeah, and Emma's not either. So
Yeah, she's further out of it than I am.
yeah, look at you go. Went for an older woman
It's an accident.
by like a few months.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like, it's really weird because me and Emma haven't been together that long.
Mhm.
I mean, by this point, yeah, it's been, a hot minute now, but and, like, looking at it from a wider view, we have not been together very long,
No.
and it's gonna be very interesting trying to get to know a person fully and have a kid together at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I know her pretty well, but I only know as much as you could learn in a year,
Well,
you know?
it takes 3 years to like really know somebody.
Yeah.
You know, that's whenever like all your inhibitions really go to the wayside.
Mhm.
You know, be in the bathroom taking a shit. You know, somebody else is just gonna walk in, get something.
That already happens. I'm not worried
No,
about
well, see, you're ahead of the game. Lord only
that.
knows.
We had an argument about it. I was like, "No, this is my personal time, and we're not doing this." And she's like, "But you do it to me all the time." I'm like, "If you don't want me to, I won't. I'm telling you, I don't want you to."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, because I was sitting there on the toilet peacefully,
Mhm.
enjoying my little TikTok relaxation, and here she comes in, "Guess what? So and so said." I'm like, "I don't care." I'm losing pounds while we're talking. Leave
Yeah.
me alone, please.
Well, nothing puts an infamous on a sentence as a kaplunk at the end of it. So,
Yeah.
well, I don't know what to tell you, honey. That bitch is crazy. Kaplunk. It's kind of like a mic drop.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of grosses me out too.
Yeah, I'm done.
Hope nobody's eating lunch while they're listening to this.
Ian's probably driving, so. Do you have anything to talk about?
I mean, do we ever?
Well, I do all the work and you do all the research, and
Well,
you have been slacking the past couple weeks.
I mean, we got this.
I've been doing these things.
Well, no, there's a lot of things to talk about, and it's all like I don't know, like the riots.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like why are we? Why?
I don't even know what they're writing about.
Oh, God, ICE and immigration.
So, a good thing?
Yeah, apparently not.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole. So the thing I don't know. Like oxymorons are a thing, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's whenever they say, you are illegally deporting illegal immigrants. Huh?
Yeah.
Like how explain?
Yeah.
And they're like, No, we're not going to explain. It's just
Because it makes sense to us.
you are illegally deporting illegal immigrants.
Mhm.
And I understand the whole, you know, like, hey, you got some neighbors that are illegal immigrants. They're cool. You don't want them to go, but I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like
We can't pick and choose.
you can't just let everybody in.
Yeah.
Why would that ever be a good thing? Well, the nation was built on immigrants. Yeah, back when there was like a third of who's here now.
Yeah.
There's only so much room. It's a melting pot, yeah, but there's only so much room in a pot.
Yeah.
And then if you put too much in, it boils over and it's ruined. So, and that's where we're at on stuff. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I could go to McDonald's without running into 10 fucking cars in the drive-thru
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. So,
Um, another thing, the whole Trump doing a parade
Mhm.
thing for all the military or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, most of the time I support a lot of what Trump does.
Yeah.
That was pretty stupid.
It was needless.
Yeah, like if you've seen the videos of it, almost no one attended.
Mhm.
He spent millions of dollars
Mhm.
to have this parade for no reason, and just so happens it landed on his birthday.
Yeah.
So he threw himself a couple $1,000,000 birthday party
Yeah.
with government money.
Well,
Like that's pretty dumb. Like, come on.
yeah, and I mean, and honestly, it was very North Korea like,
Yeah,
like
like Kim Jong
mhm.
Un.
And like I understand wanting to celebrate the military. Like
Yeah, that's
there
fine.
there's not a bad time to do that, I don't
No.
think. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have what we have now.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, maybe just not a random day parade,
Yeah. There was
like
like no notice either.
yeah, I mean,
It was just one day we talked about it, the next day it was there.
I'm glad he had his birthday, but his birthday is not a national holiday.
No.
You know, reserve that for I don't know, maybe Memorial Day.
And his birthday also has nothing to do with the military.
No, it
He's
doesn't.
never been in the military. He's never done anything.
No, he just thinks it's cool. Like
Yeah.
that's all he's doing at this point.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that'd be cool. So that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, he's getting fired in what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Whatever, how many ever years he's got left. So,
Yes.
I mean, he doesn't have to work. So he's gonna do all the shit that he wants to do. That's cool to him.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be all this. Like they're acting like he thinks that he's a king or whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, like he's not. There is no third term. He's not going to enact anything to where he's going to be the ruler of America.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. But to be fair, Republicans said the same shit about Obama, that Obama was going to go for a third term.
Yeah.
He's going to enact something to make it a third term. He wasn't ever going to do that.
He never tried.
He never tried.
Yeah.
The closest thing I will say is the whole Biden robot thing. Like, Biden wasn't doing shit. I mean, let's be honest. Like,
Yeah.
he was so out of it just by his age and his mental health that somebody else was running the country.
Yeah.
And he,
Pelosi.
yeah. I mean, we see where it ended up, but
Yeah.
so
Hopefully that shows everybody that we made a somewhat reasonable decision
yeah,
to not make her president.
yeah.
But
Well, and then the tariff thing, like I don't know that if that was a good thing or a bad thing. It seemed,
the Trump tariffs.
yeah. I mean, to me, it seems like it's been a failure. Like nobody seems to really be backing down from it.
Okay.
It hasn't changed anything for me outside of raising the price at the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it's done for me.
Well, I mean, I kind of back it because I feel like it's more of a long-term thing. Like we're not going to see the products of that for years.
Yeah. Well, no, I still back it,
Yeah.
but I think I mean, even it doesn't matter if that Trump did it. Like any president that does something, I want it to work.
As long as it's good. I mean, if it's
Well, yeah, if it's
some
good.
cracked out bullshit, there's no
Yeah.
reason you to
Yeah.
support
I
it.
mean, if I don't agree with it, um, but yeah, like whenever they're trying to do something to better America, I'm going to support it, whether it's left or right. But I do think that so far, I think it's been a mistake.
Okay.
But then again, I didn't go to business school.
Yeah.
Like I am a high school dropout. I don't know fuck all about tariffs.
I think it's mostly a good thing. It's just no one's looking at it long term. They're all seeing it from right now.
Yeah, that
Like,
definitely could be it.
oh man, the groceries are going up, gas is going up, everything's getting harder to get. Why is this is the stupidest thing ever? But at some point down the road, because of everything being difficult to have,
Yeah.
we're going to end up making it ourselves. And then at some point, as long as the tariffs stay in order, we'll become a self-sustained country. I mean, it'll probably take, 100 years of the tariffs staying where they're at,
Yeah.
but at some point in time, we'll be a mostly self-sustained country.
Right. But this is very much a what have you done for me lately country. So the
Yeah.
next president that comes in, those tariffs are gone.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be, and
Yeah.
it's whatever they want to do, I guess, if they think it's the best. But I think that's the problem with most of our recent presidents is they're all looking at it short term.
Yeah.
Like you're only president for 4 years. Try and set up the next guy for something good,
Hmm.
or set up the future for something good. Like, I don't know if it was true or not, but I seen something that Trump is setting up like like a fund thing
Hmm.
for all kids born or all babies born within the next 2 years or something like that. And it's supposed to be like $1,000 put into a fund for all of those children to help the next generation. And I was like, okay, I don't know if it's real or not. If it is real, that's damn good
Hmm.
because put a little bit of money in now. I mean, for all of the babies in 2 years, that's a lot of money. But
Yeah.
like $1,000 really isn't a whole lot of money. And in a fund that it'll be built up with interest
Yeah.
over the next 20 years, that'll be a hefty sum for people to start getting making housing more affordable, being able to afford college. Like it's going to be a good thing if it's real. I didn't do my research. I just
Yeah.
seen it on TikTok, but
Well, I mean, if it actually does, but the thing with that is when there's more money available to the average person, businesses will take advantage of that average person. You know, COVID was a prime example of that. Like,
yeah.
like there was people on, Facebook, like defending the price hikes of rental property. It's like because of COVID. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what did you do during COVID to improve your dwellings?
Yeah.
Not a damn fucking thing. Oh, you put down some click flooring.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've put down a lot of click flooring.
yeah. Like, I mean, people have click flooring, it's fine, but that is not a reason to raise your rent from $500 a month to $1,500 a month because you
No.
got some like gray off color wood flooring put in.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That's $5 box.
Yeah, your electric's still shit, your insulation's still shit, your windows are still shit.
Yeah.
But hey, they're painted really fresh. You fucking pussies.
Yeah.
Oh God, sorry. I got on a tirade.
Well, like I I won't use any names or anything, but we did a job not that long ago.
Yeah.
Um, could be months, could be weeks. I don't know. I'm not saying, but we did a job not that long ago,
Uh,
and it was putting these people were putting a lot of money into a home to make it as nice as they could. And I know that with the work that we did, we're basically putting lipstick on a pig,
You're right.
and they're going to charge who knows how much money
Yeah.
for this house because it's got more rooms than you need,
Yeah.
and it's in a terrible neighborhood. It's like it's not a good like at all, and they put a good chunk of money into it, and now they're gonna try and get all of their money back in a year. Like it's yeah.
House flipping is a good way to make money, right?
Hmm.
But not all of them, but most of them that I've come across um, do that exact method. Put
Yeah.
lipstick on a pig, put in some click flooring,
Yep.
coat of paint, you know, put in some fancy light bulbs. It doesn't matter that the wiring's from the fucking 70s.
Hmm.
Like, that don't matter. Water heater shit, the central air unit, like you ran some of that stop leak shit through there.
Yeah.
So that way it'll work while you're showing the house.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, to me, those people are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of probably a either new family or somebody that's not really, you know,
Understanding what's going
yeah,
on.
yeah, like they're just trying to get back wherever they were, um, and then they take advantage of them, and then take the money, and then like, you guys are fucked with it now,
Yeah.
you know, um,
It's fucked up, but the real thing.
Yeah, there you can walk into a house and tell that, this has either been upgraded or it's been clear coated, you
Yeah,
know? Um, like, oh, I went and looked at a couple of houses not long ago, and two of them clear lipstick on a pig kind of deal,
yeah,
and then one of them like, okay, it's been updated,
yeah,
because like the structure was all the same, like you knew what you were getting, but like had you know fancy barn doors on it,
yeah,
stuff like that. You could see where like in the upstairs it wasn't finished yet because they were still doing it, and which drove the price down. But like you could see that where it was still framed in that there was new wires in there.
yeah,
So they redid the wiring there. They redid the wiring downstairs. Like they've done it right.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, that house you can buy. This one over here, no.
It's expensive house fire waiting to happen.
Yeah, and the first thing I noticed when I walked in, that gray wood grain click flooring.
Yeah,
That is like the cheapest shit you can get, I guess.
it is. It's really, really cheap.
Yeah,
Someone who works with it a lot, yeah,
yeah, and we just threw that in there because the floor's good. Now, pay attention while you're walking across that thing. I mean, you start to get seasick, and it's wavy, it's weak. Yeah,
yeah, and it's like, say it'll probably last. I mean, if it's done somewhat decently,
hmm
probably lasts 3 to 5 years.
hmm
By that point, all of those companies have quit making that flooring. So you have to get custom made, like custom ordered stuff to fix and repair this flooring that you've had forever.
yeah, and you won't do it. You'll just get all new flooring.
Yeah, that's what
And
they want. I mean, that's basically everything in this economy.
yeah,
They'll make it to last, a little bit, and so you have to buy a new one.
yeah.
That's why TVs are so cheap.
We can talk about something a little closer to home.
Couch?
No,
Uh-huh.
Power School getting hacked.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, now all your guys' information's out there in the wilderness.
Yeah, I was explaining to my youngest brother what that meant, like helping him understand. He's like, "Oh, that's not good."
hmm Yeah, and I mean, as far as I know, nobody's gotten hit yet. But who needs that headache?
Yeah,
It went as far back as my youngest brother Caleb. He got a letter for it.
really.
Yeah, I didn't get one because we didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Power School is basically a nationwide,
hmm
you know, education
Yeah,
software.
the likeliness of anybody in this, or I mean, that's it's more astronomical than winning the lottery.
Yeah,
But it could happen.
yeah. And it's weird. They got a lot of your information. They've got like your address, where you lived growing up.
hmm
Like every time you've moved, they have your address.
Yeah,
They've got all of your grades and everything you did, which isn't a big deal. That's pretty
yeah,
easy to find. But they've also got your social security number.
mhm,
They've got your parents' information. You got all of your emergency contacts information. Like they have everybody's everything
yeah,
almost. You had to basically live under a rock for you to not have some kind of information in Power School.
yeah,
And now whoever hacked it has everybody's. Like that's more riskful, like uh, data being stolen than I would think a lot of government stuff. That affects the people of, you know, the country.
I think it's bullshit what you guys get for compensation.
What's that?
You get 2 years of credit watch if you call and sign up for it.
Credit watch.
Yep,
So we get, I didn't even know about this. We get security of our information for 2 years.
2 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That's really good for that kid that's in elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he really gives a shit.
Yeah, that's
You know,
crazy.
but yeah, that's the compensation that you guys get.
Hmm.
And that is a government-backed thing, like, the government pays them,
Yeah.
basically, because it's public school shit,
Yeah.
and that's government funded. You mean to tell me that all you guys are gonna get are 2 years of credit watch the same shit you get whenever you sign up for a credit card.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So how are we going to combat the fact that you guys have lost your information and it's out there in the wilderness for people to use and be fraudulent with? We're going to have you sign up with a place to put more information out there about you,
Yeah.
updated
Yeah. Updated
information
information.
about you,
Yeah.
and put that out there on the internet. It seems brilliant, spot on.
They should have had the credit watch long term forever, you know,
Yeah,
in
you
the
would.
first place.
Yeah, yeah, like you should have a fraud thing like that covers you because it's their fault.
Yeah.
You know, it does not matter that it was, well, there's a hacker from whatever country, whatever the flavor of the week is. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, why did you need the kid's social security number anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what does that do for you? Nothing.
I know it's very like conspiracy theory of me, but hear me out.
Hmm.
What if it was our government?
Oh, it would not surprise me
Yeah.
at all. But I mean, they already have that information.
Yeah, but they have it on a organized data bank.
Yeah, well, they can see. Well, they can see. Like who done well in school now. I mean,
Yeah.
it very well could have been our government. Well, nothing surprises me about any government anywhere.
CEOs, watch out.
If I had, like I could either live here as a multi-millionaire for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
or take everybody I love to an island and we have, food and water and shelter, but that's it. And we all just live on this island together.
Yeah.
I would do that in a fucking heartbeat.
Okay, Epstein.
Okay. All right. Huh? I just would
I
like
know,
a
I know.
community with no government,
Okay.
no nothing.
So you're wanting to start your own country is what you're wanting then?
No, not my own country because I don't want to be involved with these other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in charge of it.
Better ally Japan.
No, I ain't gonna ally Japan. I ain't gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna know where we're at.
Yeah. Except Google Map, Google Earth.
Yeah,
That'd be about it.
yeah. Like I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, well, you're not gonna get any of the government benefits. What fucking benefits are you talking about?
Yeah.
Every benefit we have, you either cut or take away.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen to me whenever I'm like old, like in my 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's say, I'm estranged with all you guys
Mhm.
at by 70. Like y'all don't give two shits about me.
Okay.
The fuck, am I gonna end up in an alley dumpster?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, oh no, you got Social Security and da 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 da. Yeah, that's gonna keep me in a home for I don't know, maybe a year, maybe tops.
Yeah.
With all the hours I've ever put in, my Social Security will pay for that much.
Yeah.
And then, like they're like it sucks because hospitals are a business. They're the people that are there working on you care. That's what they want to do. They want to take care of people, right?
Yeah, they made it their life, you know.
Policies, though, are business.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't like my dad, for example, right? Whenever it was beneficial for them to treat him, and then they got enough money for it, they were more than willing to do it. Now, whenever he became so expensive to where they weren't profiting off of that,
Yeah.
then then it's like, well, it's time for hospice.
Yeah.
Like it's time to get ready to die because we're not making any money off of you this way.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. I mean, it's sad to say.
Yeah. But it's just something we gotta deal with. I
Yeah.
mean, America for you.
I can't believe we made it from public schools to healthcare.
I mean, Luigi had motive, is what we're saying.
Me, Luigi.
Luigi wasn't such a bad guy.
I'm just saying, yeah, which I think is like he's disappeared. Like I mean,
Yeah,
he's still in jail, but like nobody ever talks about him anymore.
yeah,
You know, I mean, hell, that shit's been in movies before he even did that.
yeah.
Like it's been a known problem for decades.
I wish that he would have got some kind of praise, other than just public, because like everybody publicly was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, that's awesome!" Like you stood up to some bad people,
Hmm.
for the most part, but like like that guy with the what you're talking about,
Gary Palone.
yeah, Pelosi or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, like he did something very illegal, very bad,
Hmm.
and because of the circumstances, he got basically pardoned.
Yeah.
And I mean, Luigi basically did the same thing. Just
Yeah.
walked up to a guy that did, or not walked up, but
No, he
when
no, he walked up.
okay, well, walked up to a guy that did him wrong in some way,
Well,
and or his family wrong, or however what,
and
unalived him,
yeah,
and he gets to go to jail for the rest of his life because the guy was kind of important.
yeah. Well, I mean, in a roundabout way, that guy done something to him. Yeah. In the other case, that guy directly did something to him via his son.
Yeah.
So like that was more of a direct connection. The whole reason why this is not ending how you're describing, um, is because he's a CEO. He's running the business. He's not, like, yeah, well, yeah, he's making the policies and all that. He's not. He's just doing business,
Yeah.
and that's what their fear is. Is they're like, oh no, like business and people should be separate. So yeah, and if that became a trend to where everybody started doing that to every CEO that ever their company had done wrong,
Yeah.
yeah,
It'd be anarchy, but
dude, that's whenever the purge happens.
yeah.
And
I think we should have a purge.
I mean,
Thin this population out a little bit.
10 years ago, I would have argued with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, those movies make a lot more sense now.
I've watched this movie. I'm sure you've heard of it, but I just watched it for the first time last night. Idiocracy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie before until last night.
Oh, we're headed there.
Yeah, and we really are.
Hmm.
Like, it is the most true fucking thing on the planet.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit.
and
This
it's
is
a
more for a comedy movie. This is a little too real.
yeah. Well, and it's a take on commercialism. It's basically saying that commercialism is bad.
Okay.
That, and to an extent, it is. I mean, it's what makes us have such great things compared to other countries.
Yeah.
But I mean, just look at the people now. I mean, they're having riots right now because people think that they're in the right because some company told them that.
Yeah.
Like this shit is like so commercial. The riots are sponsored. They are. Like the theory or the conspiracy theory now is that the Walton lady, the lady that owns Walmart,
uh,
supplied these masks that help keep the tear gas and the pepper spray out of the rioters' eyes.
yeah.
Like vans showed up there
Wow.
and dropped boxes of this stuff off, and that particular mask is exclusively sold at Walmart. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a painter's thing or something, but um,
Did you see that Australian news reporter lady got shot at the riot?
yeah, yeah, and
On
that cop totally turned right at her and shot. Dude, I watched it.
I watched it too, and he did turn, but so most people seen the video of where it's cut to fit your phone screen,
Hmm.
and all you see is the guy turn and point at her. Like
Hmm.
I agree, he turned and point at her, right? If you see the widescreen of what it actually looked like on TV, you could
Hmm.
see the guy the entire time, not just that little bit.
Hmm.
And the guy for the first half of the video is pointed at her. First half of it is pointed directly at her,
Wow.
and then the people in the background start getting a little too close. So the guy goes to point at them,
Hmm.
and then she starts stepping backwards to get like a better shot with the camera or something. And I'm assuming what these guys are doing, they're holding a perimeter.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are not allowed to get this close. So he's watching her. She's getting too close. Then these other people start getting close. Points at them. She gets closer than they are. Turns back to her and shoots. Like, that's literally what it was. What it looked like exactly. Because she went just barely into the little perimeter they're trying to keep and shot her. But he was staring at her the whole time, gun pointed at her.
Yeah.
But the only scene in the cut videos portion of it was him turning and pointing at her. So, like, yeah, he definitely, I agree, he turned and pointed at her, but he had been doing it the entire time. It wasn't like, oh, this bitch, bang, he was keeping the perimeter the whole time.
Honestly, my first thought was like, well, she's kind of hot. He turned, looked at her, prematurely rubber balled it.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, bam, oh shit. So sorry, this never happens to me.
But yeah, if you look at the like widescreen of it, you can really see like he kept a perimeter the whole time.
The sickest thing I saw, I mean, well, there's a lot of sick things, like with a guy that blew his hand off because he had mortars and he was trying to throw them at the cops, but
Oh,
the
really?
fuse went a little faster than what he thought it would go.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah. So yeah, they call him Six Finger now. So um, that was horrific. But the worst thing that I saw on TV was these rioters were trying to get into the store, right?
uh-huh.
Because they're pissed off about illegal immigrants illegal immigrants getting illegally deported.
Yeah.
That man is a tongue twister.
You know when it's a tongue twister, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So the thing to do to prevent that is to loot all the stores, right? That's
Which is fucking bonkers.
yeah, that's
But
how we solve that problem.
yeah.
So, um, they're trying to get into this store to start looting it, and the owners, the guys that run it, and the owners and stuff are holding the doors for all they got
Yeah.
to keep the door shut, so they can't open the doors and storm through there and loot everything. And the 4 people that were holding the door shut were all Indian immigrants.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And who had to step in between them and the crowd to get them to stop doing that was a Mexican guy
Yeah.
telling them, this isn't right. That's not what we're here to protest. We're not here to loot. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And the crowd started moving on. But for a while, they were still trying to get past him to loot that store.
Yeah.
Like they're pissed off about the immigration. So we're going to fuck over these immigrants
Yeah.
and try to bull rush past an immigrant trying to protect the other immigrants.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Yeah.
But it's mob mentality.
I seen that these people were like on TikTok complaining like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely peaceful protest." Because that's like the whole riot people. That's their argument. Like, this is a peaceful protest,
Mm-hmm.
but we're throwing bombs at cops,
Mm-hmm.
raiding stores, that's apparently owned by immigrants. Like they're just doing it to do it now. They're like, oh yeah, let's go. They didn't even listen to what they're doing it for. They just wanted to be a part of something.
Well, and this started off against ICE agents, right?
Yeah.
But what I see getting damaged the most is CHP, the California Highway Patrol,
Uh-huh.
and the various different police and sheriff, uh, whatever they are, districts.
Yeah.
All their vehicles are getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks they're like, hey, go take these older cars and park it under that bridge where they're throwing concrete because we're getting all new ones, baby. And that's it's going to escalate the police response now,
Yeah.
right? And so the police are going to get new cars, new armor, new toys.
Yeah.
Like they're going to get all that shit. And it's going to be an even bigger problem for them the next time they want to protest about whatever the fuck. I don't know, the color pink being whatever.
Yeah.
So now they're going to protest they're going to have the old cop shit, so they're going to have this, and then we end up going to Civil War eventually, and another like 8, 9 protests. So,
Yeah.
um, the one thing that I saw, like, I never wanted to be a cop because I don't know, I don't. It's not that I don't like cops. It's just that's not me.
Okay.
Like I'm not
You're
that
not that
guy.
guy, pal.
Yeah, like like, oh, you were doing, 65 and a 60, and I'm gonna have to write you a ticket and look at my flat top. Like, I'm not that guy. you know, um, I respect what they do, but I don't. Anyway, I feel like I'm glazing them.
A little bit.
But I had never not wanted to be a cop so bad as whenever you have these protesters with their signs and their sticks and their bats and their concretes and their mortar shell, the firework mortar shells.
Yeah.
They have all those things, and I don't know what PR motherfucker decided this. Lined up all of the bicycle cops, right,
Yeah.
and then had them charge the crowd on their 10 speeds. Like,
Like it's a
like
jousting.
the same mountain bike that I can go to Walmart and buy right now.
Yeah.
We're going to take these. I don't know. It's probably like 30, 30 cops on bikes, 30, 40 cops on bike.
Oh my God.
And we're going to charge the 100 and some odd protesters over here that are trying to hurt us and that have destroyed our cars.
Yeah.
You think they're going to give a fuck about my bike helmet? Like, what are we doing? Like, the horses kind of made sense.
Yeah.
I've seen horses control mobs, and that, like at Talladega, they could keep a bunch of drunk, unruly rednecks flowing.
Yeah.
And they could do that because, I mean, nobody really wants to try to get under a horse.
Yeah.
But man, you coming at me with your fucking baseball card and your spoke bicycle, like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like, they were still in their biker shorts.
Yeah.
Like, they still had the cop shorts
I bet
on.
they got their socks stolen.
What?
But someone took them socks.
So they go riding into the crowd. They make it a solid 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
Like,
Strong 2.5
yeah.
feet.
And then they have to dismount the bikes because now they're stopped because
There's people in the way.
the protesters reached out and grabbed the handlebars, like,
Yeah.
and they didn't even get like a good pedaling start. They got like maybe 4 pedals
Yeah.
before they got to the crowd, so like it wasn't high speed at all. And they get to the crowd, they stop them by putting their foot out.
Yeah.
And so then they get off their bikes and then they turn the bike sideways and try to use them as a blockade.
Okay.
Right. Problem with that is the bike is not solid. There are spaces in between. And one space in particular is right where the old boys are.
Yeah.
Like, shake and fly through there. A foot, a fist, whatever.
Someone's head.
Yeah. And then I seen then I seen them starting to back up and, wait for a car or something. I don't know.
Wait for the big boys to come in.
They would have been better off calling Uber
Yeah.
to come in and like just start backing people up.
I'm surprised there hasn't been any like cars going through the crowds at this one.
Florida said it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The protesters down there are blocking the streets
Yeah.
until the light turns green.
Really?
Yeah. Like they'll be out there on a red light in the crosswalk. And then as the thing is counting down, they start moving to the side.
Really?
And then the light turns green, everybody goes, and then they go back out.
Why?
Because the governor of Florida said, yeah, you can run them over. Yeah, it's fine. You got to protect yourself.
Man, the governor of Florida is really leaning into Florida, man.
Oh, the cops are saying it too.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you won't get in trouble. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly, that's the response.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a protest going on and people should just like haul ass into a crowd and kill a bunch of people? No. I think that's bullshit. That's cowardly. Da 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 da. Now, if you are a 60-year-old man trying to go get your wife's dialysis medicine,
Yeah.
and you're just trying to get to the pharmacy and you got a bunch of
furries
18 to
and
20-year-old fucking don't know nothing, no better,
yeah,
beating on your car and trying to pull you out to kick your ass because you're a Nazi,
yeah.
you know.
Fuck, run that bitch.
Yeah,
Like, you're
yeah.
good.
That is the only time I've ever been like, you know what? Four-wheel drive isn't really a bad investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like,
Maybe I should get that cattle guard.
yeah, yeah. I mean, might as well just set it up like a damn old train, you know. Have the
Mhm.
have the cow pusher thing out front and
Yeah.
everything, just womp. 'Cause, I mean, if you're playing out in the road, like I told you, whenever you're younger, stay on the road.
Yep.
These parents didn't tell these kids that.
Nope. I said, "You can play?"
Yeah, and then they're the victim because somebody drove through. My favorite one was whenever there's a protester saying, "I've made the choice to die for my cause. How about you?" And this fucking red Dodge comes out of line and just wham, right through their line. And of course, that not everybody made that choice, I guess,
Uh-huh.
because they all scattered. And then there was one guy that got clipped.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, "Oh my God, he tried to kill us. Oh, we're the victims. Somebody come hold my vagina."
Yeah.
So, wow. How far are we in?
Almost an hour and a half.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, Canton's probably done listening by now. So
Shit, I know I am.
we'll talk about it next week then. But Spaceballs 2
Oh, yeah.
is coming out. Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to reprise his role.
I'm so excited for that.
Bill Pullman will be in it, and his son, that was Century in
Yeah.
the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I
So,
seen that. I'm so excited for that.
so yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But
Okay.
I cannot like. I didn't have a reason to live past 26. Now I got a reason to live all the way to 27.